yesterday on this show and pretty much everywhere else in the football world. Everybody reacting to the annual Mike Sando athletic piece, putting quarterbacks into tiers. The 2025 piece obviously garners a lot of reaction, and here to talk about it with us, the man who put together the piece for the Athletic, Mike Sando, our guest here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Mike, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you. How's it going?
Good. When this finally gets published, you just take a deep breath and go, what's next?
I do. Well, yeah, but I get a week-long sort of victory lap. It's fun. I do a lot of these types of conversations that really sharpen my thinking. You get, you got to be on your toes. You're not really, even though I'm really familiar with the subject matter, you don't always know what people are going to react to. And so that's always kind of a fun thing to see okay, I've been immersed in this for a long time. I'm talking to all these people that it seems pretty, easy to explain for me. But then you present it to the public and you get people going, what about this? What about that? And I like that.
Well, it's unfiltered truth is what it is, and it's always a great read. Now, when it comes to Kyler Murray, a lot of interesting reactions. He ends up in the third tier, which is where I probably believe he belongs. But I noted that a couple of defensive coaches pointed out his inefficiencies in 2-minute drills. What do you think of that criticism? Because it is so specific.
It is specific, and it speaks to maybe there's been a number of games that have been there for the taking that they haven't won. Now, I balance it out because I think that he needs some more help from his defense, and he got a little more help last year, but he needs a lot more. And you could see they agree because they spent their whole off season either spending money on defense or drafting defense. So I think that's going to be the number one thing that helps him from this stage, because I feel like we've just kind of been stuck in this holding pattern with Kyler Murray. He's been about the same last few years, not great, not terrible, hoping for more, hoping he can finish a season better. But I do think at a certain point, you kind of know what a guy is a little bit. And I think we're there. He can probably be somewhat better than he is, but you gotta help him more than they have on the defensive side of the ball in order to win.
Mike Sando, our guest here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. We've been having the discussions, Mike, on Kyler Murray, obviously his whole career, but going into year 7 as a starting quarterback now with the same franchise, it's really hard to come up with historical examples of guys that have made the jump to elite level quarterback or playoff winning caliber quarterback in year 7. The most recent one that I came up with, and again, the parameters are different. Sam Darnold took a huge leap in year 7 last year with Minnesota, but he had bounced around the league. Can you think of any historic examples that Kyler Murray might be able to follow on that path?
I love it. Not off the top of my head, no. I mean, I don't have all the year 7s memorized, but this is a perfect type of thing I love to look into. That's a good one. You're right, with the same franchise. He has had a major injury. He's had, run different offenses and stuff, but I think he's also a little bit of a unique player too, just at his stature and his talent. He certainly has good talent and his ability to run and make some throws on the run, but he also has some limitations as well. So that's a good one. Yeah, after 7 years, that's why I kind of said I think we sort of know what he is.
Yeah,
I think we know what he can be at his best too. Like it doesn't mean that he can't be consistently better than he has been, but after 7 years, you probably have a pretty good idea, right? And now, if you think you can win with that, then you've got to be better in other areas. And as I pointed out, no quarterback in the last 3 years who has at least 25 starts of that period has gotten worse, kind of defensive support from his team than Kyler. And their offensive production over that period, which goes beyond Kyler, is pretty good. It's in the top half. I think he's 13th out of the 32 quarterbacks. So, while, yes, we would love him to become tier 1 and a superstar, that's probably not going to happen. But you can still win with a good quarterback who's not a great quarterback. You just can't be as bad as they've been in the areas he can't control.
Yeah.
If you're a Rams fan, how concerned are you about Matthew Stafford's back?
I'm pretty concerned when they get up to be that age. And he's also been to the mountaintop. He's won the Super Bowl, too. So every year it feels like there's been speculation. What's he going to do? They let him look for a trade. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about it the longer that he's out. I still think that if anyone's going to play through stuff, it's him. I think he's super tough. So I understand at this time of year you're going to be cautious. He's got tons of reps. He's been with this coach and this team a long time. But yeah, I think the longer you start seeing specialists and those sorts of things, I get a little concerned.
Mike Sando of The Athletic, our guest, his annual quarterback tiers piece out yesterday. And finally, Lamar Jackson wins 2 MVPs, arguably should have won a third last year, but did all that before he got into tier 1 in your annual piece. Are you surprised it took Lamar that long, based on the ideas of others, to elevate to that status?
A little bit. I do think, though, that you can see Josh Allen and Lamar still didn't even get unanimous tier 1. I think there's still a belief in the league that the greater degree that you rely on your legs to play, that stuff dries up when you really need it. In the playoffs and that sort of a thing. I think for Lamar, the gap between his regular season production and his playoff production was historic until it wasn't. And I think the last 2 years he's been better in the postseason. He hasn't been the reason they came up short, I wouldn't say. Whereas before he was like, where this MVP disappears the minute you go into the postseason, and it was bad. I think that was really holding him back as much as anything. But this year, obviously, Mark Andrews dropped the pass. Lamar did fine. And so he didn't just sneak into tier 1. I mean, he doubled his number of votes in tier 1. I think it is time. I don't control what the results are, but I have to deal with the fallout. And I'm relieved a little bit. I get tired of the Lamar Jackson conversation and trying to explain, why he's not getting his due. I think he earned his due. And so this is where he belongs, and good for him.
Yeah.
Some of the rookie quarterbacks looked pretty good in their first preseason game. Now, again, it's the first preseason game. It's nothing like the speed of live-action football. But who do you like of the new crop of quarterbacks entering the NFL?
Oh, of the rookie class this year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's funny because the quarterback tiers don't include any of the rookies. And I'll be honest, I've been bouncing around training camps. I haven't watched the preseason. Who's had the hottest? Who's looked the best?
I guess Shedeur Sanders was very impressive.
Jackson Dart got a lot of love.
Yeah, Cam Ward was pretty impressive.
A lot of them look really good.
I think it's easy to look good in the preseason. I'm more alarmed when you don't look good than I am encouraged when you do look good in the preseason. I think Jackson Dart's a ways away. I think it's a brutal market to be in. I think he is going to get his chance this year because Russell Wilson's near the end, but I don't think it's going to go amazingly well. I just don't. Now, they have a good defense, so that could help them. It could help Russell Wilson stay in the lineup. They've got a great front. Shedeur Sanders, do we really believe he's going to be the guy to start the season? Probably not. So I don't know where that's going to go, with him. And I think Cam Ward was, probably the safest, most solid pick of those guys, but I don't think it's a good situation there. And that coach is under some pressure now. How many times do you see the quarterback go number 1 or early, and then after 1 year, there's a new coach. So I think there's reasons those guys were picked as early as they are, and none of them seem like slam dunks to me at all.
Yeah, Mike Sando's annual quarterback tiers piece is published, went live yesterday on The Athletic, and he was kind enough to join us today here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Mike, always a pleasure. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike Sando, our guest here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.